Hello, Pipers. What's going on? Guess we'll get right into it. Smoking some Rattray's Red Rapparree in a Missouri Meerschaum pot of gold that I haven't smoked in quite some time. Um, this stuff, oh my goodness. I really can't quite wrap my head around how I've gone so long with not having tried this blend. But what happened was I did finally get through that tin of Fusiler's ration that I had in a jar. And the good thing about finishing up a jar is that after you've cleaned it out, if you clean it out, when I'm done with a blend in a jar, I wash out the jar. Excuse me. I let it sit for a while with a little dish soap in it, shake it around, let it sit for a couple of hours, just flush it out with a lot of really hot water for a while, and then let it air dry and wipe it down. And then get to go through the task of figuring out what's going to be the next blend that I put into that jar. Long story short, one of the contenders from my cellar was a 1.75 ounce tin of the Rattray's Red Rapparree. I wasn't too familiar with it. Um, I did buy like a 100-gram tin of it along with a couple of other Rattray blends to chuck into the cabinet and eventually get to try out and taste and see what I think and go back to it and all that good stuff that we do, you know, here in this lifestyle and hobby that we have. My first introduction with Rattrays was Black Mallory because after having left aromatics as a beginner and then started to dabble into some Englishes and then had tried some Virginia Periques and a little bit of straight Virginias. One day in my brick and mortar, I decided to buy a couple of ounces of aromatic English, the 504C from Sutliff, because it smelled pretty good. And I really enjoyed that. A crossover blend, more aromatic than English, basically an aromatic with some Latakia thrown into it. But I enjoyed it. So I had started looking into crossover blends, things that are similar to that type of smoke and flavor and profile and everything like that. So, of course, I came across Father Dempsey, Kramer's Father Dempsey. At that time, I had finally gotten off the fence and picked up a tin of the McClellan's Frogmorton Cellar. Bear with me 1 second, hang on. Hey, we're back. Sorry about that. So, had discovered Frogmorton Cellar and came to the conclusion that the 504C was similar to that. The Frogmorton Cellar was just ridiculous, as everybody knows. I really enjoyed that. And then researching the Black Mallory came up as a similar type of crossover blend also. And the Black Mallory was all right. I hadn't bought any more since. I probably will go back and, buy one or two more tins of that to keep for the future. Northwoods came around, discovered, Northwoods. That was all good. And then I discovered blends that were really hitting the spot for me. and those are what's considered the Balkan type blends or Oriental forward type blends. For me, which my first, I think, real experience was like plum pudding. Loved plum pudding, stocked up on that. I always smoke plum pudding. Everybody knows that, that's been around here for a while. Hang on, this went out. Not long after the plum pudding came other stuff like the Balkan Sobrani, Maltese Falcon, Quiet Nights, anything in that realm. Those are the blends that I really, really love. All of us who are familiar with the late matches know that, you know, he was a confessed Burley lover. I'd have to say that I'm a confessed Oriental forward Balkan type blend lover. I think those are really always going to be my forever staple. Anything in that realm is going to be what I really enjoy, like from here on out. So when I saw the tin of Red Rapparree in my cellar, at some point, and not too long ago, I had picked up the 1.75 ounce tin because the 100 gram tin I've had for quite some time. It's been sitting in there. And I didn't have a date written down on the 1.75 ounce tin. So I said, well, you know, I'll crack this. And the other blend that I was interested in trying was Pegasus. And that's got a couple of years of age on it. And I do have another empty glass jar that I'm going to put that into eventually, just not right now. So I cracked open the tin of Red Rapparree. My first impression was it looked like a pretty good blend. It smelled like a pretty good blend to me. The tin note when I first opened it kind of just reminded me of a typical mild English, something along the lines of like early morning pipe. So I like early morning pipe. I figured, oh, you know what? This is probably going to be a good blend. Hopefully it tastes just as good as it smells and all that jazz. But you know how it goes. Sometimes the tin note doesn't really transfer over into your expectations of how the blend will taste when you finally get to smoke it. I could see that there was a decent amount of Oriental varieties in the blend. I'll try and post a picture of it over here, like a close-up, so you could see underneath good lighting, you know, the varietals that were in the blend. I took it all out of the tin, laid it out on some paper towels, spread it out. The moisture content was pretty good. It was on the drier side, but I wanted to dry it out almost to a crisp so that when I want to smoke it, I don't have to wait around for drying time. I can just load it into the pipe and get going on it. And in that time, I get to go through the blend and pick out any inclusions, you know, some hard stems, anything like that. The different cuts of Virginias in there is pretty accurate. It looked like there was some broken flake pieces in there, small, not huge, but you know, when I go through blends like that and I'm preparing it, if there's Cavendish in it, whether it's black Cavendish or unflavored black Cavendish, because there is Cavendish in this blend, but this is Denmark Cavendish, so more than likely it's Virginias that were steamed into the Cavendish process. I will try and open up the leaves to let them air out a little bit more, get rid of the stems, break down anything that I think will create uneven burning while I'm smoking it in the process type of a deal. And that was it. I let it sit out for maybe like 45 minutes to an hour, nothing more than that. Um, it was starting to get towards that crispy zone, so I just put it into the jar. And this was last night. Put my custom label on it and put it away, and wanted to come out and try it today. And oh my goodness, I can see why in other reviews everybody talks about that it's a very well liked blend. If you're like me and you like Oriental forward Balkan type blends, more than likely you will definitely enjoy this blend. Or even if you're just more of a mild English smoker, um, this is why I don't do the reviews. I just give my opinions and I try and equate it to other things that I've had that I enjoy. And hopefully that's what you deduce from these videos in helping you decide whether or not you want to try something maybe you've never tried before. If you've never tried the Red Rapparree from Rattray's, and you like what I like, or you like things similar to what I like, more than likely you are going to like this blend. I see quite a few more green tins arriving in time and starting to take up space inside my cellar cabinet. Unbelievable. Stuff and things. I feel like his descriptions of the blend right on the money. Michelle Baruch, Milwaukee Piper, I think his first impressions video was like spot on with how I interpreted this blend. I'll see if I can link one of them in the bucket down below and go check it out if you haven't seen it. There's quite a few reviews on the blend in the community, and most of those reviews have tons and tons of views on it. So if you've watched those and you're watching this video just because you're still not sure, I would say stop wasting your time and just go out and buy one 1.75 ounce tin, open it up. I don't know if they're dated, the tins. I don't think my tin was dated, or if there's one of those funky ways that you're able to decipher, what the age is on the tin based on like the numbers and the letters and all that kind of stuff. I really don't waste my time with that stuff. If it's that type of a tin, and whether I buy it from an online retailer or I get it from my brick and mortar shop, I just write the date that I bought it on the bottom of the tin. And if I'm going to store it long term, I put it on my little seller list manifesto that I keep to keep record of when I bought it, so I can keep track how old it is when I go to rotate in and out and stuff like that. I really enjoy this blend a lot, and I'm glad I got more of it. I don't think this is going to be a jar that's going to take me a year to go through in between smoking other blends that I enjoy smoking, because I don't smoke a lot. I don't smoke every day. I smoke a couple of times a week. It's very rare that I smoke more than once in one day. But I'm going to say that's about it. I want to keep this video on the short side for everybody and for myself as usual. Rattray's Red Rapparree really, really blew my mind. I got just a little bit left in the pipe over there. I'm going to go finish enjoying it. I hope you have all had a great weekend. And until next time, be good. So long.